Yo!
Soleil, what are you doing with that button?
Pressing it.
No, you can't be.
I did.
Not the button.
Button pressed.
No, you've doomed us all.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
This is the second short story that I said was going to happen. You all didn't believe me. Yet here we stand.
So yeah, to give my funny intro.
Hey everyone. Welcome to another iteration of DBA Downtimes, a spin-off or offshoot of our weekly tabletop RPG run in the anime campaign or Epithet System known as Destruction Bench Agreement, which in-universe is a, fighting tournament-like organization you've seen shown in anime, which is televised to the world at large. But as a TTRPG, there's a big focus on the RP, the role-playing. We already have our other side series, Data Bounties, which is challenge battles. This is focusing on the RP and basically just giving non-session scenarios with either usually a smaller amount or a much larger amount of people around able to RP without these events being shown to the world broadcast on television, usually anyway. And it's basically these characters have lives outside of the funny DBA shit that happens, although most of the times, or not most of the time, but a lot of the time the short stories that happen relate to DBA because it kind of is an all-consuming void. But yeah. Today, we have the person that's kind of hosting it. We got Scarlet.
Hey, this is a follow-up to a particular little... I don't know what to call it, I guess. Plot
Session?
thread, almost. Yeah, sure. Where it's just, a while ago, a couple of people met a certain Melody, who has the ability to put funky Z sigils on people, which basically boost their power to a hecton degree. The three people that we have here today are noteworthy for their own reasons. Roko contemplated, but something about their epithet intervened and it off-put her, so she decided to push it off to another day. Rhapsody properly got a Masterwork sigil on her violin, and Zarya was there to watch, to make sure that Melody didn't screw them over or anything. And we're going to be seeing if Roko takes the deal for the sigil, and slightly more interesting, if she is going to no. Let me restart that sentence, actually. More interestingly, potentially, you will be learning a little bit of what she is to do to work off that big debt, because the Z sigils are very important to Melody. I think that's enough setup. Sorry for talking for so long. I'm gonna pass the torch.
Yeah, so that was Scarlet. Yeah, we got that. Hey everyone, I'm Slayer Patronics, whichever you prefer. I'm playing Roko, as was mentioned. She's here because of the reason mentioned. Things were weird last time, but who knows? A fresh mind. Not only a fresh mind, but also kind of a little bit, distance away from all the other shit that happened that day. And hopefully not on live television, so they can talk without having peering eyes, theoretically. So, who knows there, but we'll see how things change. And as mentioned, two other people. We got, who would be first? I assume Iris.
Hey friends. I'm Iris. Yeah, Rhapsody's here. She feels that, it would be appropriate for her to be here to, help Roko out with this new development, since she recently went through it herself, and she offered to do so in the session itself. So yeah, she's here to just lend her support, probably hear out whatever Melody has to say, and yeah.
Then we got Sam.
Hello, it's me, Sam Amber Yum Yum Bits. And today we've got Zarya here, who she was also there, as mentioned, didn't get the Z sigil herself, but she's not about to just like leave these two high and dry and just sit there and be like, yeah, no, I've heard heard from Arlia about something trauma related to person and Z sigil. And now we're putting the Z sigil on other people. I'm not just gonna sit here and sit back while you put it on others.
It was more just like shock of just like, I didn't think that was important. Why can this person apply them?
Yeah. Basically, making sure everything's on the straight and narrow, and helping these two with whatever comes after.
Yeah. So, those are the circumstances we find ourselves in today. So, if you're new around here, you're enjoying yourself, and you want to know when, where, how, what, you can catch up with more of the things we're doing here on this Twitch channel. You should join our funky Discord server. Fine dining! There it is! Good luck!
Alright, I have tormented her, she has screamed, we're good.
Yeah. So, let's get going, I guess. Let's go. Let's see.
Oh, you wanna go? We can go! So, the day is about what you'd expect. It's like mid-evening, I would think. Or, midday. Sorry, my brain had a fucking death moment there. Kinda cringe. I'm gonna refocus myself. Alright. Melody's house is kind of in the middle of nowhere, countryside kind of situation. Not much around, house on a hill, cabin, really. And you three, for whatever reason, have found yourself here. Maybe you all drove, maybe not, who knows? And honestly,
Imagine Rogo has a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, since this may not be properly revealed, sorry, Roll20 was doing the stupid thing. There's the door. Feel free to go at it, ladies and gentlemen.
And as she's there, I mean, I presume they've been talking for a bit. But, just sort of looks back at both of them, gives them like a nod. Alright, we're here, let's go.
Indeed.
Yeah. Get this over with.
I wouldn't want to live in a place like this, though.
Really?
No. Somewhere. I need city noise.
This is the kind of stuff I'm, used to, I guess.
I could do with something a little smaller than where I currently live.
One sec. Not quite having the door not having been opened yet. There's just a quick 1 second from inside. And after a few moments, running to the door, ever excited, Elanora would open the door.
Hello. Sorry. My master's taking a nap. She told me you guys would be coming. She wanted me to make you tea and stuff, so I've been working on that in the background.
Oh,
Come in.
see,
with me.
huh? Alright.
A gracious host, indeed. She winks at Elanora.
She's nice.
She like half blushes from embarrassment.
I can just go and get her if you want.
I mean, no, if she's sleeping or whatever, we can wait.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys.
She turns around and puts all of her arms together in a help me out with this, hands clasped in one another.
Complete hypothetical, right? You were gifted $1 million. What would you do with it?
Ooh.
Shit, $1 million?
Yeah, $1 million.
Bribe some politicians.
Hmm.
Maybe fund a concert.
Oh,
I'd give most
concert.
of it to charity either way, I think.
Concert sounds good.
Charity.
That's fair.
Oh, that's right, I forgot you were into music as well.
Yeah?
Don't worry though. My master said that I should put it in a savings account, so people are being helped as is.
All right, sounds good.
Not sure exactly what I'd spend it on, but something to make my workload later.
I'm thinking of getting a new laptop. Anyway.
She just goes back to tea making.
Wait, you have a.
I have a laptop, yeah. You can, like, go into my room. It's over there. There really isn't much to write home about, though. Master believes that it's kind of a waste not, want not kind of thing, so it's just, like, literally just my bed.
What about the laptop?
And a laptop.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And a couple blankets and pillow, obviously.
I mean,
She
I
just-
assume those were a part of bed.
Uh-huh.
She goes over and throws like a few snacks onto the couch unceremoniously.
Okay, sorry. Enough waiting.
She after a bit goes up to this closet and opens the door.
Mel, wake up.
She's
She-
just in the-
She seems to just be in the fucking closet and with a bit of help seemingly.
And I'm not gonna question it.
I won't make the obvious joke.
She just like comes out, shifts the door to
Oh,
the
congratu-
side.
That
She
sort of looks
she
at
does a
Rhapsody.
simple she does a simple wave. Elanora, come with me.
Yeah, sorry.
Runs over to her side, helps her walk a bit. And with a bit of time, just
Miss.
hi. Yes. Hello. Sorry.
Yo.
My body
Yeah.
is very rude to me, so just I had to get in a bit of a nap before I start.
Closet comfy.
She looks at Roko, blinks once. It is, yeah. It's small, comfortable, keeps heat well. I don't really have anything outside of that, so I don't know why I. No reason why I shouldn't. Whatever.
Again, waste not, want not kind of thing.
As Elanora said. So, it's a hell of a coincidence that you two came by. Because I think I've properly discovered what I want you to be doing. It partially as payment for the Masterwork sigil. But we'll get to
Oh.
that later.
Hmm.
Roko, sit down.
How's T looking? He looks over to Elanora.
Oh, yeah.
She runs over, and just like brings over a small like platter of
All
you know, a
right.
tray
Yeah.
of cups.
All right, now we're
Yeah.
properly set.
All right,
Pass me one, dear. Thank you.
gotta have tea.
Mm-hmm. Elanora like
Okay, I could do a funky stretch, but I'm not gonna risk it.
and just walks over, hands one to Rhapsody, walks over,
Thank you.
hands
Yeah.
one to Melody. She does a simple nod.
Okay. The
Caref-
scene has been set.
Yeah.
My job has been done.
Carefully enough, considering that she's been handed tea, but Roko does like go around the back of the couch and
Mhm,
plops
mhm.
down next to Rhapsody.
Sorry, it's just leaning on the back of it.
Mhm. So, I want to.
Tea's good.
Glad to hear it. Eleanor's been sort of working up her skill at it. One of my coworkers really likes it. And, you know, the other main one just likes water, so whatever. Besides the point, though. So, I guess what I can start with first and foremost is why were you not interested in the episode? She makes air quotes with her free hand.
Well, couple of things. One, I kept telling you, but I felt like you needed some rest, you know? You're clearly tired. That was one thing. I don't care how good you are at your craft. I'm sure you could have done it perfectly. But, like, you know, considering that you're still napping around in the closet.
It's. I have an unfortunate fate of not being able to put the Z sigil on myself. She pats her shoulder. This jacket is the closest thing I could really get. So.
And, second off, more importantly, I just needed some time to think about it, because, you know, with what we were talking about last time, you know, I just needed to think over certain things, and I apologize if we're going to be going over same shit again, but I'm not jumping right into it. I still want to ask some questions.
She nods. Ask away then.
Alright. It's like I said last time. I want to get more in tune with my epithet, and on top of that, just get better with it. I feel like, it's part of me, I don't know exactly all the science or whatever that people are saying with it recently, but I, at the very least, view it as part of me, part of my soul, or whatever, And getting in tune with it might help me just feel myself more,
Yeah.
But
totally.
because of that, and wanting to get stronger with it in general and all that, that's why I was so cautious last time, because I don't want my journey of self-discovery and truly feeling free for the first time to be at the cost of technically being in a bigger birdcage,
She nods. I more than understand. A very old friend of mine believed something quite similar, where it's just like the epithet is an extension of oneself, and, you need to always be in tune with that other self, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, while I still want, if you're gonna give it to me, generally I'd want it with the epithet, just sort of, make it more of a, I guess, masterwork, if that's how it works. But I just... What kind of control do you have over someone or something with it on it? What's your influence? Because it's your epithet.
Honesty is very important. She, stands up a bit, unzips her coat slightly, and sips some of the tea. Elanora can corroborate with this a bit, because she too knows the situation with the sigil, and one of her biggest fears is me using it to control her. And Elanora, gets a bit more serious, but not, sad, per se. It's a bit closer. I am a very frail person. The sigil is my outclass, and using my overclass, I gain temporary control over everyone who has one. Even then, there are a few asterisks. Number one, I could not be able to see you. I could not be able to control you through other means. There are a lot of asterisks. And she starts to scratch at her neck. Nervous tick, evidently. It is not something I have ever done before. And if anything, I feel that the benefits outweigh that admittedly heavy cost. Because, you see, I believe that, well, no. Say someone else were to try and take you over. My epithet would override it, and I would assume control for a few moments, but then can just default it back to you. Plus, my overclass is very, very, very taxing on me. I can use it now if you want to. If you want to see an example of how exhausted it fucking makes me.
Well, no. She, this entire time, taking, occasional sips from the tea, bouncing her leg and foot as she's sitting here.
I know that this is giving away certain things, certain levels of control, so it wouldn't be fair if I kept information from people. I'd try my hardest to be honest,
Okay. Well then, if we're being completely honest here, sort of leans forward, clasps her hands together for a second before she puts them back to her knees, just again in this more hunched position, looking over to her. Then keep being honest with me. First off, with this overclass of yours, do you control everyone at once, or is it selective?
Selective.
Alright. Second, her eyes narrow, sort of shine with a familiar yellow-orange glow for a moment.
Causes Melody to stagger a hint.
Are you planning on doing something? Something big with this? Trying to build up some group of people? Anything like that? You got plans? Or is this just how your epithet's manifesting?
Give me a roll, Roko, my friend. Something a bit more polarized.
Yeah, I figured
That's
that was
how many times she kills you.
Well,
A mixture of both. I do have a singular plan. And she looks to her hand. I have a friend of mine who passed away a while ago. And I just want to make sure that they're safe. I want to bring them back from the dead. Call it what you will. A fool's errand or whatever. I don't care, bluntly put.
Roko,
However,
at that, sort of grits her teeth a little bit.
However, I can also... Let's say I have more than enough and people who will assist me with this plan. And she starts to scratch at her neck again. If you want a reason for why you don't need to worry too much, I can give it to you.
Yeah, no, I want that.
Do you know the handmaid to Thanatos?
From hearing it around recently, yeah.
She's in on the deal. She squints slightly. Again, feel free to lecture me all you want, say that it was a bad idea or whatever. I do not care. I have my own plan, my own desires. And if they are to fail, then so be it.
So, basically, your current plan. Get all these people that you can and use everything you possibly can at your disposal to bring this person back to life, right? That's your thinking?
She doesn't answer.
You gonna answer me if I ask you why you're bringing them back? Other than keeping them safe?
She thinks on that. And I need to think on that, so give me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Would she respond to why, is the question, yes?
Yeah.
One moment. This is making me really think.
You're done.
Rocco.
Yeah.
You said that you don't much believe in the spiritual sense of epithets, yeah?
If anything, I kind of said the opposite.
My mistake. Again, body does not work well. But still, she thinks very similarly. She thinks that epithets are instrumental to humanity. She thinks that she starts to scratch a bit more fervently. Elanora, get the glass, please. She like darts to attention and just takes the cup from her. She scratches with both hands. I just unrequited love is a horrible thing. Her scratching stops at the drop of a hat.
Alright. Well, I'm not gonna do what you told me not to do. I'm not gonna lecture you. But just know that I personally don't agree with bringing people back to life, okay?
What if they never died properly in the first place?
How do you mean?
Answer my question.
I mean, depends. What do you mean by died properly? Usually, when people die, that's it, right? This person in some sort of stasis? Is that what's going on, or...?
Yeah, stasis. She looks to the side.
So, what you're telling me is that they're not dead, but whether it's an epithet or some other bullshit, they can't pass on, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to bring them back to their body so they don't have to?
Hmm.
Well, if you ain't gonna give me any more details, I can't tell you anything, and I'm not here to lecture morals at you or whatever. Just, at this point, goes back from her hunched position more to reclined, takes another sip of the tea. But if we're doing this, right, this masterwork thing,
Mm-hmm.
two things. First off, the more important one for me, at least right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're saying honesty is important, and I agree with you, then can we agree to something?
Sure.
Until I know, or until you're willing to tell me, whatever is going on with, this friend of yours. Let me restart. I don't want you controlling me or my epithet unless I give you permission. That a thing I can trust you?
It was not my intention to do so.
May I roll a sort of insight check, Scarlet?
You may.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It is very hard to tell with Melody. Because, partially because just like her face and her facial features are just covered by the jacket. But she seems to be telling the truth because she often gets like flustered and intense when she's
Pressed
like
for something
stressed
and,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. But you are not 100% certain one way or the other.
Okay. Did I say
Melody.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you finished first.
Alright, did I say I had like two things I needed to ask you? Make it three.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, if you put the Masterwork symbol thing on
Yeah.
my epithet, air quotes, however physical or whatever that is, from what I understand, that's just gonna make it hyper-powered, right, in some way?
Imagine the epithet you have now and multiply it by, I'd say 5 times at class 3.
Okay.
Starts to scratch at her neck again.
What happens if you do it on, like, my physical body instead, as opposed to an epithet? I know that when you did it to Cortana before, she stayed conscious past, well, unconsciousness.
She would die.
And death, even.
Elanora,
Yeah, sorry, what?
strike me with your blade as hard as you can.
Okay.
And she just unsheathes Ayasa, stares down Melody. Melody doesn't even fucking blink, and just goes in for a fucking slash. Let me give it a cursory roll just in case. There we go, Elanora. It slams against her jacket, but it makes the sound of steel against steel. She does not budge. Imagine that, but to your skin. You may go back, Elanora.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, Out of my 3 things, that's number 2. So number 3. Which I think is going to help out Rhapsody here, if no one else. Before I jump into this, you're saying you want payment from her? What's that?
Yes.
Because if that's the case, I assume you're going to want something out of me, too.
Yes, yes. I was thinking that you two could both go on the journey. Let us talk. Let us talk. Let us talk.
Whatever this journey is, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going with them.
She looks to Zarya. I think that will be a good thing. More people, the better.
Good. Because if you said no, I'd have to inform you that you don't get a choice.
Yeah, I know. I would also like to say, partially because I think that it was what Rhapsody was going to ask. If you want me to undo it, I can. As I've mentioned before, I can only have a limited number of these things out in the world at any given point. And my Epithet is kind enough to let me replace them. Worst comes to worst.
Well, that is...
Yes.
That is rather surprising. I wasn't sure if you would even be able or willing to undo the marks once you placed them, but I was going to say something quite to the contrary. We in show business, you see, when we see an opportunity, we have to grab it while it's there, snap to attention and take it. And that's what I did. And as far as I'm concerned, I could voice my concerns over your dealings and your schemes and how you have control over me in some way, but the way I see it, I've already made my bed and I'm going to lie in it. I made my decision, and whatever price I have to pay, then I'll pay it. And it's my own fault for not... If it turns out to be a mistake, then it was my mistake to make. But, as Roko mentioned, I was going to bring up that I want to hear more about this price you're going to have us pay, or this journey we're going on, apparently, because I made my bed, but she hasn't decided fully yet, so she has the right to know what it is first.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking.
And I more than understand that. I would start with what do you know of Golgotha, but let's start with a broader question, one that you may know a bit more about, something that came up semi-recently. Do you know of of Pythos? I just said it. Pythos.
Isn't that whatever substance that Cortana lady had in her?
Yeah.
It may well be.
I've heard the term.
Yeah, I've heard it around.
It is a material that can hold charges of epithets, etc., etc. When shattered, it explodes outward. The follow-up question. Do you know about Golgotha, the place it comes from?
Hey,
No.
hey, Scarlet.
Yes, yes.
Is Golgotha the kind of place that you would imagine a bunch of wandering Loraxes, like the Golden Earth Society, to potentially have heard of?
Almost certainly. If anything, for their own reasons. Rhapsody, because she certainly spent a lot of time reading in a library. Zarya, because she's tight on hero business and the like. Everyone give me a roll.
I don't think she spent as much time reading in that library as you might think. But I'll roll anyway. Nice, Soleil. Nice.
Nice.
No, I don't think a 9 for Rhapsody is good enough. I don't think so.
Mhm. Upon hearing the silence. Very well. Let us talk a bit about Golgotha. And more specifically, of its God Empress. She unzips the hem of her jacket a bit so that all of her face can be seen, and she has a very serious look on her face. Golgotha, not too long ago, was involved in a bit of a war, I guess, with a different place. I don't quite know the details. However, the woman who runs it is a shady person at best. She has access to a material that has not been found anywhere else on Earth, and yet she insists on hoarding it for herself and her people. And that's not necessarily something I have a problem with, but something about her rubs me the wrong way. Right, I should have asked. What are off limits for you? What should I not send you to do? Because this is going to be a large surveying off your plate, as it were, but it will not fully, get everything out of the way. These are very important to me, these sigils.
I mean, what kind of mission is this exactly? It sounds like you want some of this material, but are we going to have to, take it by force?
Yes. More specifically, there is a variety which, from what I know, only the God Empresses can make. Or, well, the God Empress. That is more specifically what I would want. You see, I'm in the business of making weapons with an everlasting legacy. And that is about as everlasting as one can get, if you ask me.
So, this lady has a material you want. She's not willing to give it to you, so you're asking us to go and steal it for you?
It's not a matter of she's not willing to give it to me. It is a matter of she is not willing to give it to anyone. How shall I say? Sorry. Jacking up the price for a precious material that can change the world is one thing. A scummy thing. But holding a more powerful version so close to yourself is suspicious at best, if you ask me. Who knows what kind of experiments she could be running on it? Who knows what her grand plan with it is? You may be able to say, well, what about you? And I've told you my grand plan already. I'm in the business of forging weapons.
I don't know if it means anything, but I can corroborate. I visit her forge a lot, and the people that there's some nice people that visit, and her coworkers are fine and good too. One's missing an eye though.
Forgive me for being a bit blunt here. Are we going to have to kill people to get this material?
Well, I imagine that incapacitation will be all that is required, worst comes to worst, but I don't think so, no. In fact, I know of someone who I can perhaps call to assist. And, yeah.
I would prefer not to go on any kind of killing spree or be doing anything particularly grotesque to anyone, but I don't have any qualms with just stealing something that's being hoarded by some egomaniac somewhere.
Yeah, no. If there's some lady who, if what you're saying is true, has all this stuff and is planning who knows what with it, for whatever purpose, you're right. There's no telling what kind of shit she's planning.
She nods. I have a couple of friends in the city. Usually they are very, very tight about letting people in, but I can force them to make an exception.
How far away is this place, and how long do you think this will take exactly?
Well, isn't that a question? She slides out a phone, and DBA's world map is weird, but basically, one second. All right, so let's say that the world of DBA is just Earth, right? And this happens somewhere in the United States. Golgotha would be basically a place on Iceland, more or less. Island, middle of the ocean.
Okay.
Fairly sized, but yeah.
I see. Alright.
Yeah, no. Especially if we don't have to kill anybody. Or anything like that. This sounds fine to me if that's the job.
I'm glad to hear it.
Though,
Yes.
I say that, I am interested in getting those... Are they still Pythos, or is it something different?
From what I know, it's still Pythos, though. It's a bit more... Pythos is very crystalline in quality, and the type that she makes is a lot more... Shall I say... cloudy. But yes, continue, sorry.
Well, if it's this clouded Pythos shit, or whatever we're gonna call it, and it's doing what you can say, or what you say it can, then yeah, no. That's fine by me, I guess.
And this Empress, I must imagine, is very dangerous in her own right, and we should avoid her if possible.
Well, what I've heard is just legends, right? But let me tell you a story. The God Empress took control and command in a time where the current Empress wasn't doing their fucking job. For a variety of reasons, no one quite knows the exact details, but still. She took control. She's not a part of the royal family, she just showed up in the court one day. And people decided that she would be the one to lead this country in a time of disaster. A time when a decisive strike by the opposing force would result in one's death. The civilization's death. She walked onto the battlefield, onto the trenches of war, barely their forces barely able to keep the opposing military at bay, and then single-handedly wiped them all out.
So my
Each-
assumption was correct then. Yes.
Yes, it was. That is me laughing, not Melody. Let it be understood.
Could I go with them?
Melody looks and just like eyes Elanora. I will leave that up to them,
I can make tea.
she says, turning to you three.
Tea is pretty good.
Yes, and
I
I
would
mean,
love to hear it.
you've said you're a strong warrior in your own right. I don't see why more help would be unwelcome.
If you want to come, I'm not opposed either.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? I can train!
She says, turning over to Melody, just like sparkles in her fucking eyes. That's great, Elanora. If you want to go, I won't stop you. Just be careful.
I will. I will. I will. Promise. 100%.
There are sparkles in Eleonora's eyes, and in Melody's eyes is just.
Yeah. Also, Zarya looks over to Melody, and I want to mention to you, from what you've mentioned, what you've described, I'm not opposed to this mission, especially since you made it clear we weren't going to need to kill anyone, but I shouldn't have to tell you,
Oh.
unlike these two, I'm not on your bill. If we're there and
Understand.
I'm gonna work off of my own judgment, my primary purpose being there is to make sure these two, or I guess three now, come back safe.
I'll add another one to the list.
It'll be as simple as getting a cat out of a tree.
Well, real quick,
Yes.
because it sounded like a done deal, and sounds like a fun time. But first off, I'm surprised I can't think of it. But you said they were at war with who? What was going on? That
I actually don't remember exactly. One sec. The name escapes me, but they were attacked by a follow-up question. Do you know someone by the name of Philira Vanderbilt? One of her puppet states. I don't know why. I don't know if anyone who lives in Golgotha knows why.
all right? One of the Vanderbilts then. So
Of
at war
course,
with
it's
them.
one of the Vanderbilts.
Okay. So there's that. Now, I was, follow-up question to your follow-up question, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if Philira was against them, right? That means that, at least to some extent, the Vanderbilts were. Or, at least from how I understand it, that means that Kevaya is, right? You said that she's working for you?
She thinks on that a bit. Well, the children are loose cannons. It's difficult to predict what they'll do next and who they'll kill for the kicks.
Okay.
Why do you bring it up?
I'm just bringing it up because I'm trying to understand the whole scope of this here. Of, whose sides and everything and all the things they're trying to pull out here. And trying to make sure I can understand as much of what you're telling me as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And second on that, this, God Empress, right? How you're calling her?
That's what she requests to be called. Yeah.
Alright. So if Empress over there, she, figures out what's going on. she the kind of type of person to, try and enact revenge against you, us, people we care about? And she looks again, her eyes sparkle. Is that something you're counting on?
It is not my intention to get any of you hurt. As sad as it may be, Miss Roko, I think that you can concur when I say that I would prefer the three of you to come back. Four of you, if Elanora goes, to come back alive for a variety of reasons, one of which being this will only tick off half your debt, not the entire thing. The God Empress has not been seen anywhere outside of Golgotha at any point. In fact, the Dragon Empress, or whatever she went by, back when she was just a member of the council, wasn't seen outside of there either. If they do, you have my promises that I will do everything in my power to make sure that they don't touch you or people you care about. However, if they do, for some reason, branch out, this will be the first time it's ever happened, and that will surely get them the fury of... This will incur upon them Destruction Bench Agreement's wrath, and even though she's in a sequestered part of the world, I well and truly doubt that she would ever want to poke that bee's nest.
Fair enough. I just don't want to cause another war, you know? Kind of care about people and the state of, the world. And I don't want this to lead to some sort of domino effect of suddenly everything's in chaos.
I understand. Furthermore, if it would quell her rage, you can just mention that you were sent by me, and I will take care of the repercussions. She grips the sword at her side, looks at Elanora. Elanora looks a little bit concerned.
Yeah. She may have fought a military, but she hasn't fought me, has she?
If afterwards it comes down to, for whatever reason, they decide to try and go after friends, family, loved ones, whatever, as much as I want to, I can't take on everything. But I know a few other heroes. I can probably pull a few favors to make sure there's a watch at least for all of us.
She nods. Okay. That was a knowledge roll for Melody. Don't be too worried. I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting. Something that won't put your lives in danger if you don't know it, but just something that'd be useful. Slipping my mind right now, though. God fucking damn it.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I am getting sick of 20 questions, but there was something else that I feel like...
Take your time. This is important for both parties.
Right. You said that this whole thing is only going to do half of our debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's second half?
I don't know yet. Probably something a bit lower stakes than this. But I'm not sure. You have Zarya to make sure that I don't fuck you over. And the Veltises, by extension, from what I know, did a bit of digging on the last name. And again, all of DBA at your disposal. If I end up fucking you over, I'm the one whose life is on the line for it.
Well, Rhapsody just sort of looks at Zarya and Roko, just she kind of has like a smile on her face, but it's not like full of confidence. It's just sort of like a resigned, like, well, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I don't really know what else to do or say right now. So, how are you guys feeling, sort of thing?
Yeah. Well, assuming we can get out of this nice and quick, if nothing else, we can use this as some sort of thing to see whatever the hell's going on over there. Especially if it's so mysterious about what they're doing and what they're doing with all this Pythos. So, if nothing else, there's that.
Do you have a plan to even get us into the country or the palace or wherever it is in the first place?
I have a plan to get you into the country, yes. Again, I can bypass a few things. Believe it or not, I have friends in high places.
I believe you.
Yes, just, I have many people indebted to me. Not because of the Z-Sigil thing solely, just because, again, weapon crafter, you'll seldom find a better one. And, well, I have a couple informants and the like that can look the other way once or twice. What you do beyond getting the Empress's Pythos is not my concern.
I'm also getting sick of all the questions, but I do have one more. If it's alright,
I understand this is an important choice that you can't make based on your heart's judgment. Ask whatever questions you want.
Well, I mean, as much as I'd love to just confidently say you can count on us, and I'll just swing on in there and steal away everything you're asking. The last time I did that, I was imprisoned for the entirety of my teenage years. So, I will just ask, particularly since I need to I'm sure she's going to ask me if I don't bring it up. Is there... Let's say, just as a fun little hypothetical, right?
Sure.
Let's say we go in there and we completely fuck this up. Like, I mean really, like everything we try to do just completely goes wrong. Luck is not on our side. So on and so forth. And we're going to be imprisoned or executed or whatever manner of punishment this Empress sees fit to bestow upon us. Is there going to be any sort of contingency or backup plan to just get us back out, or any kind of thing we could do to try to escape, or some way to signal you perhaps, or signal one of your allies? Just, again, as much as I'd love to be my typical confident self, this is far beyond anything I've done before, and I might be a phantom thief, but my track record as such is quite tarnished at this point.
Elanora.
Yeah.
Keep my number on speed dial at all times. Do not talk to me, Elanora specifically. The rest of you can call me. Elanora will probably want to catch up on the day's work, as it is. She's a very excitable person, but still. Point is, if she summons, if she calls me, rather, I will activate my overclass and bring you all to where I am at the time. Most likely forging a weapon of some kind. And then you'll be out of there. This also means that Eleanor's phone shouldn't be used for anything at all. And if her phone is destroyed, she starts to scratch her neck again, then one of you using, other phones are to tell me as soon as possible so that I can prepare for that, and we can switch up which phone it is.
Right. Is that going to work with Zarya as well?
Unless she had a Z sigil. No. She
Ah.
works as
All I can really say is don't worry about it too much. If I can't get out myself in that situation, there might be some kind of pull I can get, whether it's other heroes or my family or whatever. Figure something out.
In that
If you're
case,
certain.
we just. In that case, that leaves. Her eyes roll like bowling balls down a fucking track to Roko. What say you?
It's one of those things, right? Maybe it's the idealist in me or something, right? I'm just hoping that we can get there and somehow things work out way better than we're expecting. Some reason people are amicable there. We can come to some sort of agreement. But I need to try and be realistic here.
I mean, the mark is why you're doing this in the first place, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's the main reason, but to be honest, based on what she's saying, this whole thing being hoarded for who knows what, at the very least, like I said, I want to know what's going on there.
I do too. So, well, my line of business makes it so I can't wander around very much. I don't have time for sightseeing. Elanora?
Yeah?
If you end up going, I'm sure you'll tell me all about what you see, right?
Of course. I'll have tales to spare, baby.
Atta girl.
Hey, Zarya. Zarya, can we eat at the restaurants? Can we eat at the restaurants, Zarya? Please.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I'll pay for them. I have $1 million.
Anyway, so we should probably get to the main show.
We get there and it's like, would you give us the Pythos for $1 million?
$1 million.
Oh shit! I mean, that's pretty good.
It's
like,
pretty good.
I mean, Pythos is pretty good, like $1 million. Whoa.
That's even better. It's not
Dude, I
like
could be-
pie. Yeah.
I could become an empress with that money, dude.
Yo,
God Empress even, dude.
bro.
My God.
Yeah.
Might even be able to buy a new laptop.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we can get one that's powered by Pythos. Maybe I can get a couple of souvenirs for you, Mel.
I'll be very excited to see what those are.
Oh great! I really want my laptop to have the epithet like wart or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Super
so
Mario.
Super Mario,
So-
come and play.
so focusing back in, right?
Whack his pee-pee.
All right, Soleil, that's the last joke you can ever make.
Okay.
She looks to Roko.
Mm.
So, what say you?
Well, while I have different things on both sides regarding the mission itself. Who knows? Maybe we can make things work out all peachy. But if nothing else, since it's for this sigil, and I mean, for me anyway, this whole thing, my epithet, figuring myself out. That's what I came here for, so guess we'll just do what we can when we get there. If that's what we need to do, then fine, sure.
Very well. As I doubt I need to say, the application process is very painful. But if you're ready, I am too.
About as ready as I'm gonna be.
She pats the cushion next to her. Sit next to me. If you want anything, let me know. But let it be understood that, shall I say, nothing is going to make this easier. Okay?
I do have one little idea, if you'd allow me.
Mm-hmm.
She just summons her violin, and she just seems ready to play a symphony of some kind. And, you know, she looks to Melody just to make sure that wouldn't be, like, distracting or anything, but...
She, finally zips up the thing, the jacket she has. If you think that that distracts me, if you think that has the capability of distracting me, you have not dealt with my coworkers bickering so constantly while I'm having to make a goddamn sword.
All right, then.
Neither here nor there.
She flicks the bow of her violin and just makes a little spotlight for Roko.
Roko sort of snickers at that. I really don't know what I was expecting from you, but for some reason I wasn't thinking you were gonna put on a whole ass show or some shit.
It's sort of what I do, sweetie.
I'd pitch in, but closes a small book she was looking at. I don't think there's any facts about Venus that'll help here.
Yeah, no. I think that would just make my brain disintegrate faster. Anyway. Let's get this going. I'm ready.
Very well. In that case, as her epithet sparks to life, and her hands, one covered in a black energy, another in a white, in front of her almost manifests something akin to like green scales. As I always have done, be initiated. And she just goes to work. She presses her hand into this plate, and again, as mentioned, it is like a needle piercing into your soul, a needle to a rapier, to a lance, to a wrecking ball smashing through it for an amount of time that one's brain can't keep track of because of how much it fucking hurts. No matter how much she would try, she couldn't stop the screaming. Though, give me a roll, Rhapsody.
Yeah, specifically what she's doing, right, is she's playing a counter melody to, like, not the act of her doing this sigil, I mean, that's an outclass anyway, but just, she is just playing a counter melody sort of as, like, not even necessarily to stop the pain or nullify the pain, but just, like, help her relax through the pain, because this is a very intense and significant thing that's happening. So she is playing a relaxing song to counter that.
And similarly, since I imagine this is like an epithet thing, because it's Rhapsody's epithet and all that, Zarya would let her coat briefly ignore the death part. Store some of that. I haven't changed that in a while.
Oops. We just have it go around Roko's neck and start strangling her.
Just start strangling.
Yeah. But yeah, what's up?
But yeah, no, basically, there, better.
Better, yeah.
But basically store some of that and just sort of wrap the coat around Roko to help a little bit.
Alright.
Yeah, she's not even trying to counter what's happening here, because that's impossible. She's just trying to do some funny, it's okay, you can get through this magic.
Yeah. And instinctively, as this is going on, just parts of Roko would just be coated in stone as she's just instinctively trying to protect herself.
Is she getting it on her body or her epithet, by the way?
Epithet. Also, well, give me a roll. Was the 12 the roll, Rhapsody?
Yeah.
Give me another.
Okay. I think it has a small boost because of Zarya as well.
Yeah, it has the +2 because,
Alright.
That does not change the fact that it helps slightly, but if you were to tell Roko that after the fact, you could have fooled her. It hurts like absolute hell, and after a good 10 minutes of quite literal soul-rending pain, the wrecking ball goes back to the lance, goes back to the needle, and remarkably fast, the pain fades.
Rhapsody just
Breaths.
a serious look on her face just makes the violin disappear and kind of sits down cross-legged.
Welcome to the club.
How you feeling?
Small thing. Physically exhausted. In pain for like half an hour, it felt like for her. But she feels more in tune with her epithet than she ever has. Bluntly put.
Yeah, this is like the worst fatigue I've ever felt. But no, this is just as she flexes her hand a little bit. It hurts physically, but she can just feel a weird river-like flow, a current between her fingers. Yeah, no. I can feel the difference already.
I'm glad to hear it.
If nothing else, this should help more quickly relieve some of the fatigue.
Oh, fuck, you drove here. Oh, shit. Alright, Zarya, can you drive? We're gonna need to take her home.
Yeah, I have my license.
Okay, that makes one of us.
Look, it'd be kinda hard to go, visit certain people if I didn't have one, so...
Yeah. I don't have an icon for it necessarily, but considering the fatigue and shit, at this point, Roko would, like, pull off her beanie and, like, her jacket for a sec and just breathe as she's just trying to cool herself down.
We should have thought a bit more ahead on that, but oh well.
No, it's all good. I don't want to drive or anything like this. Listen, I'm not
No.
I'm not
Yeah, don't
usually
worry,
a
I got it.
I'm not a driver anyway. I said it before, but this kind of place is where I'm used to living. Cities, been to plenty of them. Very long? No, I only recently got the car, and but
We've got this. Zarya won't total it too badly, will you?
But, listen, I don't know what you're expecting of me. I'm actually a decent driver.
It was just a joke, sweetie. I would total that shit though. Oh,
I just, one question before we go. You don't drive a stick shift, do you?
No.
Okay, good.
What do you think I am, my dad? Like, she just takes a hand and starts fanning herself. No. No. Okay. God, I... Takes her beanie and puts it back on, but waits for a bit on the jacket. God.
I presume we'll be in touch, Miss Melody.
Indeed we shall. Though, if everything goes according to plan, things should be a bit sooner as opposed to later.
Right. Got it.
Though, make no mistake, I will give you all time to unwind.
Hey. Like, looks over to Rhapsody. When you're, doing your Epithet songs and stuff, right? Do you, like, actually play songs that, like, or does your Epithet just sort of take over and does the rest? You just sort of go with whatever. Is that, like, what's the feeling there?
She sort of looks away a bit. Well, yeah, it's a bit hard to explain. They are songs I know, yes. But, well, part of the reason I agreed to do this in the first place is because while they are songs I've learned to play, if I try to, let the music flow through me or, just sort of try to improvise, it doesn't go well. So, I just play, as long as I play a song that sort of resembles the mood of the effect I'm going for, the epithet sort of just takes over from there. But as far as playing anything else, I struggle somewhat.
Has
Got
my
it, got
epithet been? Has the sigil been helping with that?
A bit. I certainly feel I feel that my knowledge of my epithet at the very least is certainly progressing, and I'm already able to do a couple of very new things that I managed to experiment with and figure out. I'm not where I want to be yet, but it's helping. Yes.
She nods. I hope things only get better from here on out.
Well, you said that when we class up, it'll get even better, right?
Mm-hmm.
She just sighs and takes a deep breath and then looks over to Roko. I wouldn't do any exercise for a few days at least. I needed a good, I think it was like 3 good nights of sleep to feel human again.
Right.
I apologize.
Well, I can tell you at the
pain.
very least, it ain't a matter of feeling human or whatever. Again, this is the most in touch with myself I've felt in just about ever.
I just meant from a fatigue standpoint.
Yeah, no, but I was gonna say, but like as a person that like turns themselves to stone regularly, this is like a bit much.
I wish that my application hurt less. It's just my epithet is not great.
Well, I mean, everything has a price, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose.
Can you carry Roko, Zarya?
Yeah, I got
I
her.
can help.
No, I can stand. Tries to take a step, immediately goes like arm over
Yeah.
to Zarya's shoulder. Like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
catches
gets
her.
her other arm.
Yeah, no, look, I
Gang.
appreciate you trying, but like,
Yeah, no.
I've gone through this before with Rhapsody.
Yeah, it Jello legs. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I got. She's got her other arm. She's gonna help her forward.
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on, wait. Eleanor, can you grab my jacket? I left it on the couch.
Yeah.
She picks it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. No, everything's good.
Thank you,
Everything's
miss. We'll take care of her.
Yep.
fine.
She nods to Melody and winks at Elanora again.
Melody nods back. Elanora blushes and is holding. She is holding the jacket as though it is a precious treasure.
Yeah.
You can come throw that in the passenger side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will do.
And I think that's a good place to call it here. Yeah.
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 I think so.
No one has anything else.
I guess
Other than
just
the cursory,
Yeah.
we'll need to talk soon about Roko stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Of
yeah,
course,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
Which, if
Yeah.
anything, as they're leaving, Roko, would just one last time turn around. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have the jacket.
You do. It's really cool. I would know.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
my favorite. Okay. Well,
Anyway, so where were we? Ah, right. Finishing off the downtime. So yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that was interesting. To the people viewing, fun fact: this is going to be continued in a what I can best describe as like side campaign to proper DBA. So I'll keep y'all relatively posted on how that's going. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be too much work because it's mostly just like me ironing out Golgotha details, and yeah, hope you're excited to see it.
Yeah.
I know I am.
Definitely excited. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well,
All right.
firstly, if you all enjoyed yourself and you want to know when, where, how, why, you can catch up with more of the stuff we're doing here on this Discord server, whether it be DBA, any of its anythings, or otherwise. You should definitely go and join our funky Discord server. Fine dining! Ah!
Holy shit!
Yeah, you should join it.
Fine dining.
Fine dining and
The
breathing.
train is excited.
Whoa, the train's exciting. The conductor is already bailing flankies, PP.
Yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Whee!
Oh, I realized I posted the Discord link twice. That's a little fucked. Let's post it one more time, so like it's like normal.
Yeah. Rule of thirds and all that.
Yeah, exactly. You should join that. But of course, thank you to Scarlett for hosting this funny thing, and thank you to both Iris and Sam for joining me on this funny bullshit. Yeah. So, for now, thank you all for watching. Couldn't do it without all of you. Always a great time. Good night, and say goodbye to chat, everybody.
Goodbye to
Bye.
chat, everybody.